Something strange is happening at your grocery store, and most people are completely missing it. Certain products are vanishing from shelves, coming back for a week or two, then disappearing again. It's not a rumor, it's a pattern, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. I've spent over a year tracking which products are becoming harder and harder to find, and I've narrowed it down to 11 items that keep showing up on that list. These aren't exotic goods, they're ordinary, everyday products. But they share one thing in common: when supply chains hiccup, these are the first to go. One of them costs less than $1. Another is already experiencing regional shortages right now, and several of them have uses most people never even think about until it's too late. Let's get into it. 11. Black pepper. This one surprises people. Black pepper feels like it'll always be there, but nearly 35% of the world's supply comes from a single country, Vietnam. A prolonged drought there has been hammering harvests, and here's the kicker: pepper plants take up to 4 years to mature. That means any shortage today won't be fixed quickly. Beyond flavor, pepper is a natural food preservative, something our grandparents knew well. Whole peppercorns store much longer than pre-ground, so if you want to future-proof your pantry, that's the smarter buy. 10. Canning jar lids. This one sounds almost too mundane to matter until last summer, when canning lids disappeared from store shelves for months and resale prices online shot up to 4x the normal cost. The reason? Many canning lid factories still run machinery from the 1970s. When it breaks down, especially during peak canning season, there's almost no replacement supply. They're cheap, flat, and stackable. Stock a few boxes now, and you'll either use them or be the most popular person on your street if it happens again. 9. Distilled white vinegar. White vinegar might be the most underrated item in your pantry. For just a couple of dollars, you get something that can preserve and pickle food, disinfect surfaces without harsh chemicals, neutralize odors from clothes and refrigerators, assist with water treatment in a pinch. It lasts essentially forever if stored in a sealed container. This is one of those quiet, boring items that becomes incredibly valuable the moment supply chains get bumpy. 8. Yeast. Remember 2020, when yeast vanished overnight because everyone started baking bread? That wasn't a crisis, that was a trend. Imagine what a real food disruption looks like. Here's what most people don't know. Dried yeast, if kept sealed and frozen, can remain viable for years. Even better, if you learn to maintain a sourdough starter, just flour and water, you essentially have an unlimited, self-renewing supply. It's a skill that's worth about 10 minutes to learn and could matter a lot more than you'd think. 7. Baking soda. During Argentina's 2001 economic collapse, baking soda quietly became one of the most sought-after household items. People used it to soothe heartburn, treat insect bites, clean teeth, deodorize spaces, and even put out small grease fires. A large box costs almost nothing, lasts for years, and pulls triple duty as a cooking ingredient, a cleaning agent, and a basic first aid item. Few things offer that kind of value per square inch of shelf space. 6. Salt. Salt is so commonplace, we've forgotten it was once currency. The word salary literally comes from the Latin word for salt. Roman soldiers were paid with it. Our bodies can't produce sodium on their own, and without it, muscle function and neurological health deteriorate fast. Salt also preserves food, enables fermentation, and replenishes electrolytes. A large bag of non-iodized salt costs next to nothing, never expires, and in a serious shortage scenario, could become one of the most tradable commodities you own. 5. Matches. Lighters are convenient until they break or run out of fuel. Most people don't realize that many match factories are aging facilities with limited output capacity. A decline in production would be almost invisible until suddenly you couldn't find them. Waterproof. Strike anywhere. Matches stored in a sealed container will work years from now in rain, wind, or cold. For something that costs a few dollars, the peace of mind is hard to beat. 4. Cooking oil. Cooking oil is one of the first staples to spike in price during global disruptions. In recent years, some regions have seen price increases of up to 40% almost overnight, driven by crop failures, export restrictions, and refinery slowdowns. The key storage tips? Keep bottles unopened in a cool, dark place, and they'll last up to 2 years. Use small containers to minimize air exposure once opened. Beyond flavor, oil is one of the most calorie-dense foods you can store. Critical when food is scarce. 3. Bleach. Plunch. This one is already seeing inconsistent availability in multiple regions, which is why it's number 3. Unscented bleach does something almost nothing else can. With just a few drops per gallon, it can disinfect questionable water and make it safer to use. It also sanitizes surfaces, tools, and clothing during hygiene emergencies. One important note: bleach degrades over time, losing potency after 6-12 months. Keep it sealed, store it cool and dark, and rotate it regularly. Cheap, simple, and potentially critical. 2. Instant coffee. Instant coffee outlasts almost everything in your pantry. In a sealed container, it can stay viable for 20+ years. It requires no equipment, brews in seconds, and delivers caffeine, which in stressful situations is genuinely useful for focus, mood, and energy. It's also, historically, one of the most reliable barter items. After major disasters, small comforts, a warm cup of coffee, carry outsized psychological value. A few extra jars take up almost no space and offer enormous utility. 1. Batteries. The number 1 item on this list, and it's not close. Batteries power flashlights, emergency radios, medical devices, and dozens of household essentials. As the world pivots toward lithium-ion and rechargeable tech, alkaline battery production is quietly declining, while demand spikes every time there's a storm, outage, or emergency. Quality alkaline batteries stored properly last up to 10 years. Keep a supply in a cool, dry place and rotate them periodically. When the power goes out, they're not just convenient, they're essential. Here's the thing: none of this is about panic. It's about being the kind of person who isn't caught off guard. Every single item on this list is affordable, easy to store, and genuinely useful in everyday life. There's no downside to having them. Which of these have you already noticed going in and out of stock? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If this was useful, share it with someone who'd want to know. And subscribe if you want to stay ahead of this kind of thing, because these trends don't make headlines until it's already too late.